Well, guys, man, it seems like everything surrounded around Shedeur Sanders has made national media. Um, the fact that they're still talking about a supposedly fifth round quarterback and all the attention that he's getting and comparing him to first rounders and Tom Brady and Josh Allen and all that, that goes to show that Shedeur Sanders should have been a first round draft choice. There's been a lot of things said over these last couple of days about Shedeur Sanders ever since Todd Monken has accepted the head coaching job for the Cleveland Browns. The latest to come out to blast the organization was Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith. You're now tuned into a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sapp, and we're going to talk about what Emmitt Smith had to say and put the organization on notice right after this.
Let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sapp, chopping up topics for your optics. From politics to your top picks. Tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio, stereo, pumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen. We smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man. I got something to say.
Well, y'all know I got something to say, man. Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith, NFL's leading rusher of all times, has came out and spoke abundantly clear about the treatment of Shedeur Sanders by the Cleveland Browns organization. Now, we know a lot of things that's been taking place over these last couple of days, ever since Shedeur Sanders was named to the Pro Bowl. Also, ever since Todd Monken has taken over for the Cleveland Browns as head coach after they fired Kevin Stefanski, and Kevin Stefanski accepted the head coaching position in Atlanta and took his offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees. Now, Todd Monken's introductory press conference, he said a lot of things. He mentioned Shedeur Sanders' name a lot of times, but he didn't really say, hey, Shedeur Sanders is going to be the quarterback one going into 2026. But in a lot of words, if you just listen to him, he likes Shedeur Sanders. And from some of the things that he was saying, a lot of people feel like Shedeur Sanders is going to be that quarterback one for 2026. Now, we all know Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens last year. And in the 2025 draft, the Baltimore Ravens actually tried to draft Shedeur Sanders. And if you go back and look at the history, when Todd Monken was with the Georgia Bulldogs in college, when Shedeur Sanders was coming out of high school, he was heavily recruited by Georgia, and Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator, and he was the quarterback's coach. So he has followed Shedeur Sanders along the way. And then we seen at the Pro Bowl what Shedeur Sanders did, and he felt that he can compete at a high level, and he feels that he can dominate. Also, he had a sit down with Kay Adams. He spoke to her, and he said some things, that was basically surrounded around what Todd Monken said, that, it's uncertain that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in 2026. Then we seen what Todd Hasselbeck had to say. And he said some things Tim Hasselbeck, he said some things that was way out of line as far as Shedeur Sanders don't belong on that roster. He don't even know if he's going to be quarterback two going into, his second year of 2026. And, we did a video about that, and we picked him apart because Tim Hasselbeck played 4 years in the league and over a 7-year career, played on 3 different teams, the Arizona Cardinals, the New York Giants, and the Washington Redskins. He threw for over 1,000 yards, 5 TDs, and 7 interceptions in a 7-year career. And he was relegated to a backup quarterback. Now, Emmitt Smith said some interesting things when he was interviewed by Kay Adams at the Pro Bowl. And I want y'all guys to take a listen to what Emmitt Smith said. And he made abundantly clear some things that he wanted to let the Cleveland Browns organization know. And just like the young lady said, he was preaching the gospel. So let's take a listen to what Emmitt Smith had to say in this interview with Kay Adams.
Shedeur was on my set, and he, right here, while Todd Monken was saying his roles to be determined. And I heard they wrote me to that whiteboard. They wrote it, and they said, ask him about that. And I did. And he handled it perfectly. What's wrong? Why not commit to Shedeur in 20, like right now? Why not? Is it the right move?
I guess coaches want to make sure that guys know that there is no security in their position, and they want them to be as competitive and compete for the job. No one wants to hand anything to them. This is the way that they're treating Shedeur. But they handed it to Drake May.
Yes, they did.
They handed to kid out in San Diego. They also handed to the kid in Jacksonville. They also handed to Sam Darnold. They also handed to other players. So, and what does Cleveland have? Absolutely nothing. So what's the debate? Are you going to give it to Dylan again? I mean, when you have players, see, the one thing about
You
players.
just gave me goosebumps, Emmitt.
One thing about players, they know who their captains are, and they know who their leaders are, and they know who they can believe and who they trust in. It's the organization, it's the coaches that have to get it right. You can name somebody a captain, but if they don't have the respect of the team, they're not truly a captain. Some people earn that right.
I would imagine Miles there is the captain, but no question.
He's one captain on the defensive side, but who's the captain on the offensive side?
You tell me.
Who believes in who? When you step on the football field, how are the players responding to you on the football field versus someone else?
Church of Emmitt Smith here. Would you have named him the starter?
I would.
If that was you,
Right
get the head
now?
coaching job. They're asking you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can
I haven't seen anyone else earn the right to be that but him. And he hasn't played enough and haven't given him enough chances to be on the football field. And when he's on the football field, they feel better. They look better.
I'd like to know a little bit more about that before you go, because your words matter. What has Shedeur done that convinces you that he should
The
be?
team believes differently.
You can tell while you're watching.
His energy is different. His swag is different. His level of confidence is different. And notice I said confidence. I didn't say nothing about arrogance. His level of confidence is different.
Wow.
And so he believes that he has the ability to do it. He's not walking out there thinking that, can I do it? Or do I have the possibility to do it? No, I'm going to make it happen. That's the way he's approaching it. And I appreciate it. And I've known Shedeur since he was a kid. And I watched him grow. I know his training. I know his background. And I know where he comes from. He comes from a line of championships. That's the way I would look at it. And years of experience at that position. He was trained that way. And he grew up with understanding how to play the quarterback position from a guy that played in the National Football League. So I don't question his ability to understand and recognize coverages and his ability to control and manage the offense. Now, managing the offense is the key to every quarterback's position. Not putting the ball in harm's way is the key to how successful a quarterback can become. Shedeur, given the opportunity and working with him, as you will work with any quarterback, Drake May, or as you will work with any quarterback in New York, any quarterback in Jacksonville, any other quarterback. Just like you will work with them and help them understand that's the approach you should take. Forget what he looks like. Forget how he walks. Forget it. You want somebody confident. You want somebody to step in and say, I can lead the organization.
Now, you guys heard what Emmitt Smith had to say, man. And basically, Emmitt Smith, man, he didn't pull no punches, man. He came out swinging, man. He made a lot of sense because he said, you know, these other organizations are handing these quarterbacks the keys. Why not Shedeur? So basically, he's saying Shedeur is getting mistreated. And we've been on the record to say that all last year about the sabotaging of Kevin Stefanski, mistreating Shedeur Sanders. And then Emmitt Smith made a key point. He's talking about what you want to do. Give it back to Dylan Gabriel. We saw what he's capable of doing. Then he talked about who the guys believe in. I think all of them believe in Shedeur Sanders, man. I mean, I've heard some things that Denzel Ward said, and he said he wants it to be a competition because he likes everybody that's in the quarterback room. But, you know, he's not in a position because he's not the coach to come out and say things like that. He knows the position he's in, so he has to kind of fall back. So he's just being politically correct in what he said without stepping on nobody's toes. So basically, he's letting Emmitt Smith do all the talking, and Emmitt Smith was spot on. Emmitt Smith said nothing wrong. And I agree with Emmitt Smith. You giving all these other quarterbacks, and you working with all these other quarterbacks, and you got a nice little product on your squad, and you not working with him and not giving him the opportunity. And this is what Emmitt said from the jump. The coach ain't gonna come out and say it because he don't want nobody to get comfortable. He wants everybody to stay competitive. And then he said something else key about when Kay Adams asked him about the captains. Talked about Myles Garrett. That's only on the defensive side of the ball. Who's your offensive captain? Normally they go with the quarterback as your offensive captain. So basically, Emmitt Smith is just letting the organization know that, hey, the mistreatment of Shedeur Sanders got to stop. Give him the keys. Work with him. And I just think Todd Monken's system is the perfect one for Shedeur Sanders. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.